The reason I'm one of the best coaches for professional development and sales you'll meet, one of the best speakers you meet, is because I failed more times than most people have tried. Right? My name is Bruce Hill. I make sales simple for speakers, founders, and financial professionals. Using a better questions framework, I help you hear me yes more often without sounding salesy, without expensive tools, complicated software. We turn more conversations into clients. And I didn't get it right the first time. And that's what makes me successful. One of my favorite quotes by Michael Jordan, he talks about how he failed over and over and over again, and that's why he succeeds. I think the failure we're avoiding is the path to improvement and is the path to success. So let's be clear. I'm not telling you to risk your life saving, reverse mortgage the house, right? Empty the 401k, rob the kids' college fund, and bet on your idea, right? Just don't say, well, Bruce said it was okay. What I am saying is, it's very likely you will not succeed the first time. But I want you to have confidence you will succeed as long as you keep going. Step 8, and the 13 Steps of Riches, Napoleon Hill wrote, is persistence. And when we look at success in any endeavor, very few people achieve success the first time. One of the problems I have with hiring managers who have never had a bad month, who've never had a bad quarter, who've never had a bad hire, who've never got terminated for underperforming, is they're terrible coaches. Because when their rep that they're supposed to be serving gets it wrong, they can't help them get it right. Well, they say, well, it worked for me. I don't know why you're having trouble. And there's a level of arrogance that happens to people who haven't experienced failure. There's a level of delusion to people who have only experienced success. If you've only experienced success, maybe you're one in a billion, or maybe you're not trying things that are very big. If you haven't failed, you probably haven't tried. And that's where a good book I want you to learn on this one is two actually. It's Grit, Surprising Secrets of Success. Um, no, it's Mindset, The Surprising Secret of Success, The Growth Mindset by Carol Dweck. And then Grit by Angela Duckworth. Great TED Talk too, by the way. So in Grit, she talks about for people that give themselves more attempts, more practice attempts, end up producing a better product. Ultimately, the first 1 through 100 might be terrible, but 101 is the masterpiece. And this is where I don't think the 10,000 hour rule is correct. I don't think that's accurate. I believe it's 10,000 repetitions. So you don't get credit for taking longer to get there. You get credit for getting there. And so, unfortunately, we avoid failure because we don't recognize that as part of the path to success, as the path to growth, to the path to development. And so we try to avoid it mistakenly. No one puts their losses on their resume. Shout out to Ramona Spin, world champion public speaker. She said this in a post earlier, right? Where we only put the wins, the titles, the accomplishments. And Instagram's a highlight reel of the best parts of our lives. We don't always put the bad things that happen, the things that we tried and didn't work out so well. And subconsciously, we think they aren't supposed to happen at all to us. I'm like, well, if I'm failing, something's wrong. I'm here to tell you if you're failing, something's right. So back to that 10,000 hour rule. I think it's 10,000 repetitions. Here's the logic behind it. Let's say, shout out to Blue Gopher Colin White. You want to go golfing. And you just play 18 holes straight through. Let's say you're rocking and rolling. It takes you 4 hours. Now, me, I'm not quite as good a golfer. Let's say it takes me 8 hours, right? Do 18 holes. Who practiced the most golf? If we both did 18 holes, one takes 4 hours, one takes 8 hours. Who practiced the most? It's the same 18 holes. So what you want to do is get as many repetitions in as quickly as possible. And that's why I like DeMarco says you can get rich quick, but you can't get rich easy. The faster you can get those failure reps out of the way, the faster you can get to success and building something amazing. You're not going to win a prize if you run a marathon. Like, yeah, this marathon took me 16 hours. Okay, that's called walking, right? I've probably accidentally done a marathon over a week or two, especially running around the Beltline in Atlanta. But if you say, hey, I got a marathon done in 2 hours, that'd be pretty impressive. If you say, hey, I did 10 marathons this month, you might end up in Runner's Magazine. I don't know how many you'd have to do to end up on the cover. Repetitions, doing it with the deliberate intent to get better. Duckworth calls that deliberate practice. In Carol Dweck, in her book Growth Mindset, she talks about having a mindset that these iterations, even though they don't lead to they don't accomplish our finished product, lead to our finished product, and that they're not a reflection of our identity but our capacity. So a fixed mindset says, if I try and I fail, that means I am a terrible person. I suck. I'm no good at this. And they don't try again. A growth mindset says, hey, if I don't get this on the first try, that means I need to get better, right? I have the ability, the capacity, and the opportunity to improve. So the reflection of my self-worth is not in what I accomplish, it's how I respond to what I accomplish or don't accomplish. So what does that have to do with me helping you make sales simple? I really love being able to tell you I sent 500 invites out and one person showed up to a workshop. I think that's a really important conversation to have, because when I start selling out and I start raising prices, I'm like, man, how is he so lucky? Because there's 500 people that ignored me, but I kept going. So then the next one, this is what I love. I sent out, I think it was half of that. Let's call it 250. And I had 10 people sign up and 5 people show up. I had 2 other rescheduled. They got sick. Hope y'all are feeling better. And so that's just for 30 days. I had my LinkedIn account for over 6 years. I think I was stuck at right around 6,000 connections for a long time. In the past 30 days, I have over 400 new connections. In the past 60 days, it's 1,050. In the past 90 days, almost 1,500 new connections. I had to post consistently for 6 years in order to have almost a 20% increase in a short period of time, in just a few weeks' time. A lot of people just give up too soon. A lot of people give up too soon. Imagine if you went to the gym and you did a push-up and you're like, man, I'm still not in shape, and you quit. That's what it sounds like when you send out that email, when you send the text, when you send the invite, when you make the call and you don't hear yes right away. So when I talk about making sales simple, we're going to teach you how to use better questions framework to talk to more people that want to hear from you, more people that already want to tell you yes. We're going to teach you to be your authentic self, right? We don't need no killer closers or master manipulators. And we're going to help you hear yes more often in a way that's less time, less energy, and has better conversations. All right. So if you're like, hey, I want that, that sounds amazing. Go to askingbetterquestions.com. Grab the Better Question Toolkit to get started. So it's askingbetterquestions, plural.com. And we're here to help you make sales simple.